and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Gwyneth. I'm so glad that you're here. And if you're returning, hi, I'm so glad that you came back. I love you all. Yeah, today is just gonna be like a little like sit down, like we're besties, let's talk type of video. You guys sent in a whole bunch of questions, and you guys asked really good questions, by the way, that I'm going to answer in this video. So it should be exciting because you guys asked some really good questions, but I thought we would just jump right into it. So the first question is, oh. It's not zooming in correctly. Okay. There we go, because I have it on my computer right here, and it was like, anyways. Okay, so what's a pet peeve in the horse world you can't stand? And then what's something you can't go a day without doing? Okay, that's a hard one. Honestly, one of my biggest pet peeves, and I know this may not be like as like more like forefront as other people would think, but when you have like a competition horse and you're really big and like competing and stuff like that, it really bothers me when people don't give their horses time to be horses. Like, you know what I mean? Or like they don't give their horses time off after competitions. Like, you know what I mean? Like that sort of thing, because horses are athletes too. Horses are animals. Like they have their own feelings. Like they need time off as well too. They need time to like rest, relax, have days off, that kind of thing. Horses need to be pampered too. So honestly, like people who just compete their horses or like ride their horses over and over again and don't really give them time to like, or don't have them turned out, don't have them go outside and just be horses. That's kind of one of like my biggest pet peeves, I would say, if you guys get what I mean. I'm not trying to like shame the people that like go and like do those like week-long or stuff like circuits and stuff. Like I want to do that too. Like that's one of my dreams. Like at WEC or something. After that, if they don't give their horse time to like go outside and just be a horse, you know what I mean? Or if they don't give their horse like at least a little bit of time off, that's one of my biggest pet peeves. I don't know about you guys, but yeah, that's one of the ones that like, because I have some other ones, but that's one of the ones that I feel like most people wouldn't think of first. And something I can't go a day without doing now is doing, this might seem really small, but doing Apollo's pre-ride stretches and pre-ride exercises and stuff like that. Because because he was a racehorse, he struggled and still struggles a lot with, bending and that kind of thing and building muscle. And I found that like by stretching his neck and doing like carrot stretches and stuff like that, it's really helped him in the long run actually be more bendable and be more flexible and stuff. And I've noticed improvements like in our rides too. So honestly, I cannot go a day without doing his pre-ride stretches, or honestly his after ride care, which is putting liniment on his back and on his legs and everything to prevent him from being sore. Just like preventative stuff. Apollo does have a few things which I will talk about later in this video, because I know one of the other questions was kind of related to that as well, so I will touch on that a little bit later. The next question is, how do you get over any confidence knocks you have? Guys, there's been a lot of confidence knocks in my riding career, like way too many to count. When I first got Apollo, I fell off of him my 4th ride on him. I tried to ride him with other people in the indoor, and he started bucking and rearing and threw me off. Great experience, guys. And then at our first show actually went really well, but then at our second show when we like cantered and stuff too, and even in some of the beginning shows this year, he was a little bit wild, and there were definitely like a lot of baby moments, like at the Hunter Jumper Classic, if you guys were here for that vlog as well too. Those definitely had huge knocks to my confidence. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. One of my main things, I really want to teach you guys to have confidence in your riding and in your abilities too. And just be positive about yourself and be positive about your riding and all this other stuff. But it's something that I struggle with too. So honestly, I kind of do it for myself as well too. And I know guys, it's not easy. It's not easy in the slightest or at all, but I'm trying. So something I do is I kind of just, sometimes I will like watch back over videos of me riding, like me and Apollo, like where we started like a year ago. And I'll just like, after I've had a bad ride, and I'm like, whoa, like even if this ride wasn't the most perfect ride, like look at how much I've improved as a rider since then still. And look at how much Apollo has improved as a horse since then. And honestly, just like this sounds really, really stupid, but just breathe. Just like especially if you're like nervous to like jump or to like do something. Like I used to be so scared to ride Apollo with other horses in the ring, because of the way he would act with other horses in the ring. He used to be very, very afraid of head-on traffic, and I didn't really post much about this, but I'm gonna be completely transparent right now. Like, it was it was a really rough winter last year, and that's part of the reason why I took a break from YouTube for that month last year, because it was really, really tough. I couldn't get him past another horse without him doing a full 360 rear and taking off, running in the other direction. But as you can see now, we have gotten over that. We've worked through his fears, and honestly, we've worked through my fears as well too, because I found when I'm more confident, like going towards it, and I'm like, you know what, this is like one bad ride. This is just one bad thing. And if I'm confident, it's going to make him confident, and that sort of thing too. But I've definitely had a lot of confidence knocks. But the main thing that's gotten me through it is thinking like how far I've come. And I know that sounds really stupid, but, and also just breathe. Just like take the time to just breathe, appreciate your progress, appreciate how far you've come. And yeah. How did I get into riding? So when I was about like 8, maybe, no, younger than that, maybe 7, I went to Lake Farm Park, which is like a farm park like near, like in the area where I live, and I rode a horse there. Like I did like a lead line thing. I just like walked around on a horse, and I'm the first person in my family to like ride horses. And I know that's kind of insane, but I'm starting a trend, guys. I just fell in love with it since I forget the horse's name. I think it was something like Skipper, maybe. I don't know. I remember he was like a big chestnut or something like that. But yeah, I rode that horse, and after that I was like, Mom, Dad, like I gotta take lessons. And so after that, for Christmas that same year, my grandparents gifted me a week-long summer camp at Chagrin Valley Farms. And I did that for 2 years before I started taking lessons with my trainer at Chagrin, who I still train with today. I love her. Love you, Erica. But yeah. And then, do you plan on taking Apollo to any shows? If so, which shows and when? So for this year, there are no more shows. My barn isn't doing any more shows this year because it's going to be like the dead of winter, like, you know. But my next show is end of January, going into February, like very end of January. January 29th. Are there 30 days in January? I don't know. But end of January into February 1st, and then I have another show end of February into the beginning of March. And those are both going to be at Chagrin Valley Farms. They're probably going to be indoors. This is going to be Apollo's first ever winter show, so I'm a little bit scared, but I'm definitely going to take you guys along with me through all the ups and downs, because there will definitely be a lot of downs. I can tell you guys that right now, and I know that's not very but that's just the reality of owning a baby horse and like riding a baby horse and showing a baby horse as well too, especially since he's never been like in the indoor at Chagrin either. So that'll be a fun experience, but that is my next show planned. So January, end of January is going to be my next show. And then obviously like next year I'll like do more shows, probably like a show like once a month or once every 2 months maybe. It depends on my schedule. I'm hoping that we're going to be able to go to some bigger shows this year, crossing my fingers, like WEC Ohio or Brave or something. Hoping, guys, so please hope with me too. But yeah, what is your biggest goal in riding, and what is your biggest goal with Apollo? So my biggest goal, guys, I have so many dreams and I have so many goals in this sport, but honestly, my biggest goal in riding, I don't know. I kind of just like want to see where the wind like takes me. Like, you know, I know that sounds kind of cliche, but like I kind of just want to like take it as it goes, but I definitely want to go professional and be like kind of like a professional. Like, I don't know. I don't think I'm good enough to be a professional, but like I want to go like D1 in college. Hopefully, I don't think I'm good enough for that either, but we'll see what happens. And I definitely want, and I know this definitely, like, will not happen, but I want to be able to go to, like, some of the big, like, finals and stuff, too, like, junior hunter finals and stuff like that, too. That's never gonna happen. That's just a dream of mine. Yeah, goals in riding, probably just to keep advancing, keep showing and show at bigger venues and stuff, too. And my biggest goal with Apollo is to make him into, okay, to make him into like a 2.6, 2.9 like packer, like a horse that I can get on after like a week off and go show and go like do well in the hunter ring and stuff like that too. So honestly, I want him to be like that horse for like when I'm in college and beyond college, that I can just get on and like spontaneously go to like a show and he's like incredible and like that sort of thing. Yeah, and I know and I don't know if I'll talk about this more later, but I might as well mention it now because I have been kind of like torn up about this recently, because and I haven't actually like shared this on the internet yet, and so Apollo, so I didn't know this before I bought him, but Apollo has a back deformity. So that means that some of the, I think it's in his pelvis, but a few of the bones in his pelvis aren't formed out the way they should be. And that's never going to go away. That's like a part of him. Like there's no way to fix that. So he sees the chiropractor and everything as well too. I put him in a massage sheet. I started putting liniment on his back. Part of the reasons why I do the stretches is for that too. I do a lot of like stuff that like chiropractor exercises the chiropractor suggested to help get his back stronger. And he used to be, and this is also part of the reason why I took a break from YouTube last year, was because he was really, really sore, but we didn't know it was because of his back, but he would just buck and buck and buck after like every jump. And at that point I was like, I don't know what to do. And then he saw the chiropractor, we figured out what it was, and he is doing so much better. Like he is completely comfortable now. But I'm honestly, I don't even know if this will affect his jumping or anything. But because I know like before when he was really, really sore, when he would land, like the impact of that landing after the jumps is what caused pain like in his back. And I don't want that. Guys, don't worry. He's completely comfortable now. Like he doesn't buck after jumps anymore or anything. And the chiropractor said he's comfortable now, like we're at a really good spot, so we're just gonna keep doing what we're doing. If it comes up later, if his back gets more sore later, or if it becomes like an issue, we'll reevaluate. But I'm just preparing myself for not being able to jump him over a certain height because of how his back is, and that's just like the way life goes. Like obviously I'm never getting rid of him. He is forever and always staying with me. He's my heart horse. Like he's forever and always staying with me. But yeah. So I'm just like, if he's not comfortable going any higher, if it's going to put him at any risk with his back and stuff too, because that's always a constant worry that I have, then I won't take him over 2.6. Like, I just won't. And so, yeah, we're just going to have to see where everything takes us, but I'm hoping for the best, in this whole situation, which I know is like, I don't know, but yeah. Hopefully, guys. But yeah, so my favorite brands, okay, on to the next question. This one's a little bit lighter than the past one, but what are your favorite brands of saddle pads and how many saddle pads do you own? Guys, I own a whole Tack trunk full of saddle pads. Like legit, I have like one of those big Tack trunks and it's filled from the bottom all the way to the top. Like they didn't fit in my locker, so I had to put them all in my Tack trunk because they couldn't fit. As for my favorite brand of saddle pad, I don't really have like a favorite, but I really like those like hunter-esque ones. Like the Ogilvy ones are really pretty. I don't have any Ogilvies, but I think those are really pretty. I have a lot of Lemure ones, but they honestly aren't my favorite. I don't really like the cut that they have. That's just like my personal opinion. I know most people like really like them, but I prefer like the like square I don't know what I'm doing with my hands. Like the like square cut, because I feel like it looks like more hunter-esque and more like sleek to me. But obviously when I have like fun colors, I will obviously use my Lemieux pads. But yeah, I probably own close to like 25, 30 saddle pads. Actually, no. That's a lie. Less than that. Probably like 15, 20. It's okay. Because I gave a few of them to one of the girls at my barn. So I definitely have less now than I did then. But, all right. Next question is, why did you want to get Apollo? Okay, so this is quite a fun story, actually, of how I got Apollo. Apollo was actually the first horse I looked at. So literally, like, the day we decided, like, maybe we could do this, maybe we could get a horse, my trainer sends my mom an ad, or my trainer was like, oh, like, I got, like, this notification from, or not notification, what am I talking about? The lady who runs, oh my god, why can't I think of what it's called? Anyways, who runs, like, the rescue that Apollo came from, was like, I just got in this new horse, like, he's going on the market, this weekend, I thought I would, like, notify you first, see if you had any, like, clients who wanted to buy, and so she sent Erica pictures and videos, that's my trainer, and then she sent them to me, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, this horse is adorable. Like, he's such a good mover. Like, I need this horse. And so we set up a viewing for Apollo, and the next question is what his name was before. His name was actually Omar. So obviously I had to change that. Yeah, his race name is You're Out, if you want to look him up. But his barn name was Omar when I first went to see him, and I immediately, as soon as I got in the car, I was like, I gotta change his name. So I came up with Apollo from there, which I think suits him a lot better, but I don't really think he's an Omar type of guy, but, you know. But so after that, so we set up the viewing that weekend, and as soon as, like, I went, like, I was like, oh my god, like, this horse is, like, the perfect size. Like, I know he's, like, small, he's 16 hands on a good day, but he was so sweet, and he was such a good mover too. Like, me and my trainer were literally talking about this, like, as she was riding him for me, because I didn't get to ride him beforehand, but as the owner was riding him, like, while I was, like, watching at our viewing, me and my trainer were, like, talking, like, this horse is a hunter. Like, his trot and, like, his canter and everything, this horse is a hunter, and he's gonna make a really good one. And I was like, hunters is what I want to do. Like, I need this horse. And I just loved him on the ground as well too, and, like, there was a lot of, like, rain and stuff as well too, like, coming down on, like, the roof and stuff. He was completely unfazed by it as well too, and, like, he was 5 when we first went and viewed him. This was his 4th ride off the track maybe, and so obviously, like, I was really impressed, and I just loved him. And my trainer was like, Gwyneth, if you don't get this horse, then I'm gonna get this horse. So I was like, I'm getting this horse, and that was how I got Apollo. So the next question is, how long have you been riding? So I've been riding for about 7 or 8 years at this point. Yeah, there's nothing really else more to say, but yeah, 7 or 8 years. Yes, I have actually leased a horse. So the next question is, have I ever leased a horse? I have actually. When I was 9 or 10 maybe, I leased this horse named Bella for a summer. That was really fun. I paid for it completely all by myself. I remember it. Yeah. But yeah, I leased Bella for a summer. She was my first lease horse and my only lease horse. But yeah. My biggest jump is 3'3". I believe probably closer to 3 foot, but somewhere in the middle of, like, a 3 foot and 3'3" range. Yeah. My best tip for showing is just, this sounds so cliche, but just breathe. Just breathe. Like, literally, take a deep breath before you go in the show ring and pretend like it's just another lesson. Like, pretend like, oh, this doesn't mean anything. Like, in the big picture of life, is this really gonna matter, like, 10 years from now? No. So just take a deep breath and just go in the ring and take a deep breath, breathe, and just say to yourself, like, have fun. Like, I don't care about ribbons and stuff like that. That's what I do. And just, like, try to reduce anxiety, like, the most that you can. So yeah, just breathe. and just pretend like you're riding at home. Pretend like the stakes aren't there, and like, I know that's hard, but once you get used to doing that, like, you'll really get the hang of it. So, do I like No Syrup November? Honestly, guys, no. In my lesson yesterday, I was like dying. My trainer made me like take off my stirrups, and I was like, oh my God, for so long. I thought it was never ending, and my quad still hurt. So in reality, no, I don't like No Syrup November, but I do know that it is very beneficial for like my riding and like strength and stuff like that too. So it's kind of like a given that I kind of have to do it even if I really don't want to. Right. So then, okay, so the next question is like my riding plans overall. Okay, my riding plans overall are probably, I don't know. Okay, so I really want like I don't really have any like riding plans. I know I want to ride for the rest of my life. Like, I know that's definitely something that I want to be in my life for the rest of my life. I definitely want to go to bigger shows, show bigger heights, like do like derbies and stuff like that. I want to step in the jumper ring at some point because I feel like that could be fun, like doing like the Grand Prix and stuff like that. I feel like that's just, yeah. Obviously, I have big dreams, and I'm probably not going to reach all of them, but because one of my dreams before was going to pony finals, but I know that one's never going to happen, but that one's out of reach. But there are some other ones that I'm maybe, we never know. And then my goals with Apollo, I kind of touched on this earlier, but yeah, making him into a 2.6, 2.9 packer that anybody can get on and just go and have like a good show, have him take care of you, like that sort of thing. And then what do I want to do when I grow up / life plans? So this is a really good question. I love talking about my future. So I'm planning to go to college, and I want to ride on an equestrian team. And what I really want to do is I really want to go D1, but I don't know. I'm definitely not going to be able to do that. It would be like, I don't have high hopes for my riding ability in terms of going D1, but hopefully I'll be able to, because that is the dream. Otherwise, I will just ride on like another like college like riding team. And then in college, I'm planning to become a veterinarian, and I want to be a small animal veterinarian. So I'm planning to do that, be a content creator as well. So I'm planning to do that for the rest of my life. You guys won't be able to get rid of me. So there's that too. And I want to be a veterinarian and a small animal veterinarian, and like work in a practice and stuff like that as well too. I've watched a few surgeries, and I'm really excited. I'm doing like a few like programs and like classes and stuff at school that helps me like dive deeper into it as well too. So I'm super excited. But yeah, so I'm really excited for that. And yeah, I mean, that's all kind of got to say for that one, but I'm definitely still gonna be creating content and all that stuff. Wow, that just wiggled. Still gonna be creating content and all of that stuff too. Planning for that to be also a main part of my life as well too, because I love you guys and I love making content. But yeah, I want to be a veterinarian. So the next question is, are you going to do more shows with him? I already touched on this. Yes, I am going to do more shows with him. Probably, I'm always going to be doing shows with him, hopefully. But yeah, as I said, the next one is in January. So excited. And am I going to begin jumping higher? That's the next question. I would hope so. I'm definitely already jumping higher than like I ever have before. Since like getting Apollo, and since like having him really advance and like stuff like that. But again, because of his back and stuff, I really don't want to push it. If he ever seems like he's uncomfortable anything, like I will stop. I will like set that limit, and I will say no, like we're not jumping past this height. And honestly, that's fine. That's fine with me. That does make me a little bit sad, because I know that like I probably won't reach like where the levels that I want to go to. But Apollo is always and forever gonna stay with me. He's not going anywhere, guys. but I'm hoping that's not going to be the case, but that always has to be in the back of my mind at like some point. So there's that. But okay. And so hopefully we'll be able to begin jumping higher when Apollo builds a little bit more muscle, like he's already built so much more muscle, but when that kind of thing happens as well too. And then how do I plan my schoolwork, my job, and my hobbies and sports all in 1 week? Guys, my life is busy. It is 6:38 right now and I'm filming this, and I have like not really had a break today. And it was a day off from school as well too. So I'll just like go through like my week schedule, and I can do like a whole separate video on this too, because honestly I feel like it could take like a whole video, because I have dance Tuesdays through Fridays, and then during the school year. So I go and ride. So I work at my barn Saturday mornings, and then I ride after that. Sundays I also work at my barn, and then I have a lesson Sundays. Mondays I go and hack and I do a flat ride. And then after school, Tuesdays straight after school, I go and I do another hack. And then after that, I go straight from the barn to dance. And then I come home, obviously do all my homework and stuff like that. I usually do my homework all like later at night. Wednesday, unfortunately, I have to go to dance right after school, so I don't have time to go ride on Wednesdays. And I also don't have time to ride on Thursdays either. Sometimes I have time to ride on Fridays, but it really depends on like how long dance goes and stuff like that. And then obviously like Saturdays work and stuff like that. And then because I'm also the social media manager of my chiropractic office, so that's my other job. So I have 2 jobs. So I work at my barn and then also there, and that job is like completely remote. Like obviously I have to go in and film content and stuff like that, but it really works for my schedule because I can do all my editing and stuff at home. I clock in my own hours and I do that stuff all on my own time. Speaking of, I have to edit more videos later tonight as well too, after I finish more of my homework. Honestly, it took a lot of getting used to balance all of this, because I'm a very busy person and I'm also taking a lot of rigorous classes at school as well too, and it definitely took a while to get used to and to really like be able to balance it all, but I feel like I've done a pretty good job of it. Like you really have to plan it out. Like I have a color-coded planner. I have like a calendar up on my wall of like all my events and stuff too, and like I plan out time where I can just have the time for myself, have time to edit stuff for you guys, that sort of thing. Have time to do homework, get ahead, like that sort of thing. Hang out with friends as well too, because having a social life is also a big part. Like you can't, guys, don't completely invest yourself into just like school and stuff like that. Like you have to make time for yourself to go and do the things that you want to do, go and hang out with all your friends and everything too, because having a good social life is also really important too. Now I'm just giving you all life advice. Anyways, but yeah, honestly, it's really hard, but I had learned to be have to manage my time really, really well, and also be really, really organized. Like my color-coded planner says it all. And utilize my free periods at school, that sort of thing. It's definitely hard, but yeah, so we have 2 more questions. So this one is, did you convince your parents to get a horse, but go deeper on it and more of how you did it? Okay, so oh my gosh, okay, so it took forever. I had been begging my parents for a horse since that one summer camp. Like, it took a while. I wrote my parents letters, I made slideshows, and all this other stuff. And I think I was wearing them down, but, like, not really. But one of the main things that I had to do was convince them that I was ready and I was responsible, and that I had a way to make my own money. Like, I work at my barn. That's one of the reasons why my parents were like, okay, like, you're responsible enough for a horse, like that sort of thing. I also, one of the biggest thing that convinced my parents to buy Apollo was talking to my trainer. That was the biggest thing, because my trainer was the person who actually like managed to convince my parents that I needed a horse. Because I basically talked to her and I told her like what I wanted to do when I got older, like where I wanted to go in my riding and stuff like that, and showing career. And they were like, so my trainer was like to my parents, like, Gwyneth, this is what Gwyneth wants to do, this is where she wants to go, but she's not going to be able to do that on the lesson horses who have like a certain like jumping limit. And my parents were like, and I had to prove to them that I was serious about doing this sport, and they know definitely now that I'm definitely serious about doing this sport. So yeah, I definitely had to prove that to them, but it was really my trainer who was the biggest convincing factor, and she went with us too to view Apollo. We all drove in the car together, and we had a really nice conversation on the way back and on the way there as well too, figuring out like costs and everything like that, how it would benefit me and all this other stuff. And so yeah, but talk to your trainer. That is my biggest tip for getting a horse, and make sure that your trainer is super on board, because my trainer had been talking to me about getting my own horse as well too. So definitely talk to your trainer, make sure that they're on board, and have them talk to your parents, because sometimes having another voice besides just your own, having another professional's voice in it, can really make a difference in convincing your parents. And then the last question is, how do you pay for your horse, and how did you get your parents on board about the board, feed, and like vet bills and stuff like that? So, well, obviously, like, I have 2 jobs, and both of those go towards helping me pay for Apollo, but I'm very lucky also to have very generous grandparents. If you guys are watching, I love you guys. But they help with some of the costs and stuff as well too. I pay my own show fees, like that sort of thing too. Yeah, you definitely have to be really independent with money, and you have to be really good at saving money. And getting my parents on board about the board, well, they were definitely more, because like obviously I get paid for working at my barn and like that sort of thing too. So like all that money that I made goes towards board and stuff like that too, and lesson fees and that sort of thing. So being able to tell my parents, like, this is the time I'm gonna work, this is how much like I can do, and this is how much is gonna come off of it, definitely made my parents like say like, oh, like we got this, you know what I mean? And my grandparents definitely help out too, like that sort of thing. Cause guys, I'm not rich. You can never really be rich, truly rich in the horse world. But yeah, and then vet bills are really hard because sometimes they're like really unexpected and that sort of thing too. Like when Apollo hurt his leg that one time, like 2 months ago maybe, that was unexpected, and the vet bill was expensive for one visit out is insane. But yeah, definitely have a job, prove you're good with money, and that sort of. My phone just died. And I panicked for a hot second because I thought that it didn't save the whole video I just filmed. But yeah, my phone is at 1%. It's charging right now, but thought I'd end this video here. Thank you all so much to everybody who asked any questions. If you have any more, leave them in the comments below, and I will always respond. I love you all so much, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.